For this week's project, we are going to be creating a diorama, which is a three-dimensional scene from our story, Because I Love You. We've given you everything you need to complete your project. You'll need to set out your cardboard box, which will be the frame for our project, paint and paintbrush, your templates, our colored paper, glue, scissors, and a pencil. The scene we have chosen to create is the forest blocked off by the wall that Shaddai built. You can create your own scene if you'd like. If you want to use our plans, you can use the provided template, or if you want to do your own, you can flip it over and create your own scene. You can even use other materials you may have at home. Step 1 for creating our diorama is to cut out our wood scene from cardstock. Some of the areas may be difficult to cut, so you may need to ask for some assistance, especially for our younger ones that are joining us. Like I said though, you don't have to use this. You can create your own trees, or if you want to do something completely different, that's totally fine. After we finish cutting our forest scene, we're going to grab our black paper and a pencil. We're going to flip over our template to trace out some shadow trees that are going to go on the back layer of our diorama. Let's line up the edges and trace so we can get them cut out. Now our shadow trees are ready to be cut out, but we're going to set them aside for now and we'll cut them out later when our paint is drying. Before we assemble our diorama, we're going to need to paint our forest layer. We have provided you with both green and brown washable paint and a paintbrush for this part. On our bottom layer, we're going to be using the green paint to create some grass mounds of our forest. And then we're going to use the brown paint to paint this upper part with our branches. First, we need to fold the bottom half at the fold line, because remember this is a three-dimensional project, so this is going to sit right in the middle, but we're going to fold it ahead of time so that way we don't mess up our paint afterwards. Let's start with our green paint. Put a little on your paintbrush, and then we're going to start doing some small arcs just to give us some texture of the grass mounds. You can color it all straight green if you like. I just like to have a little bit of texture in my paintings. After we finish our grass, we're going to wash off our paintbrush, and then we're going to come back and use the brown to paint our trees. I use a similar technique with the trees, kind of doing small little strokes to give them some texture. After you finish painting your forest, set it aside so it can dry. And while it's drying, we're going to go ahead and cut out our shadow trees. Now that we're done cutting our shadow trees, we are finally ready to assemble our diorama. So we're going to get our cardboard box out, and you're going to need your blue square piece of paper. This paper is going to fit nicely into the back and act as our sky. But if we just leave it in there, it's going to fall out. So what we need to do is get some glue, and we're going to glue it to the back of the box. In your family kit, everyone should have received some white glue. I don't have white glue, however, so I'm using a glue stick. Hopefully it'll stick okay. Next, we're going to take our shadow tree layer, and that's going to fit nicely against the back as well. Again, we're going to take it out, we're going to glue and stick it in. Now we're going to set this aside and we're going to work on our rock wall. You're going to need the templates that were provided. In your bag, you should have received a template of some rocks that you can use if you want, or you can draw your own. You also have a wall and a brown paper, which we're going to use to cut our rocks. If you want to use our template, the first thing we need to do is cut out the rock shapes. Now we're going to trace or draw some rocks for us to cut out. You can draw as many as you want, and you don't have to be perfect with it. Remember, rocks are all different shapes and sizes. Now we're ready to assemble Shaddai's wall. The first thing we need to do is fold on the fold line. This is going to be the very front layer of our diorama. If you have leftover brown paint and you would like to paint the wall so that it's not white behind, you can certainly do that. I, however, did not have extra brown paint, so I'm just going to start gluing on my rocks to my white background. You can put them in any order you'd like. Now that Shaddai's wall is complete, we're ready to fully assemble our entire diorama. So we're going to set the wall aside, and we're going to pull back out our forest layer. When we assemble it, remember our diorama is going to be three-dimensional. So there's going to be different layers put together. You've already completed your back layer with our shadow trees. Our painted forest is going to go right in the middle. So what we're going to do is we're going to take our glue and we're going to glue the bottom part below the fold line, and then we're going to stick it into the box right in the middle. It might be easier if you set your box upright, but for this video's sake, I'm going to leave mine flat so you can see what I'm doing. So as you can see, as we put these trees right in the middle, they're going to stand up nice and tall and create that 3D effect. Our final thing to add to our diorama is Shaddai's wall. So we're going to put glue right underneath the fold line. And then we're going to take the wall and we're going to place it right in the front. Again, to create that 3D effect. So there's 3 different layers to our project. Stick it in there. Almost done. Fold it up. And voila! You've created your diorama. I'm really looking forward to seeing your pictures of what you've created. You can add other objects if you like as well, or just get creative and have fun with it. I really look forward to seeing everything you created. Have a wonderful, blessed day, everyone.